Hi, I'm Dr. Mel Jackson, Chief Science Officer for Sweet Greenfields. We're a stevia company, and I'm pleased to be talking to you today at the Clean Label Conference. I'm going to talk to you about SteviAroma 3D Synchronizer technology. This is a stevia-based flavor technology that synchronizes multiple sensory perceptions of sugar in reduced foods and beverages. The idea here is to bring to market a new clean label product that helps to bring back things like mouthfeel, temporal profiling, all of those kinds of good things that you miss when sugar's removed from the foods and beverages that you eat. So today there are a number of new trends that are developing with consumers around the world. There are mega trends, there are key trends that are part of those mega trends, and then there are indications of what we need to do as formulators in order to address those trends. So the four mega trends really revolve around consumers really becoming much more sophisticated about what it is they want out of a food or beverage. Satisfaction, they definitely want more gratification, more satisfaction. They want natural. Their tastes are fragmenting. Not everybody likes a certain diet soda or a certain packet of chips. They all like different kinds of things, and as formulators, we need to cater to those needs. And they're also very interested in sustainability, environmental sustainability, and other forms. From that, there are 10 key trends that have been derived. I'm not going to go into all of them in detail. You can see them here. But they do include things like sugar, consciousness, digestive wellness. Fats are actually coming back and becoming more important in the diet. There's a big trend towards plant-based and protein-based foods and beverages. And so it's important as formulators that we also formulate trends. We understand how we are going to react to these key items that are coming up. So as formulators, we need to be producing foods and beverages that are appealing, that they're healthy. In many cases, they're plant-based. Stevia, of course, is derived from stevia leaf, and so it's certainly plant-based and all natural. And then we need to be using emerging ingredients and flourishing flavors, because at the end of the day, if I can produce a stevia extract and I can reduce sugar, I still need to have the product taste good. Another factor that's compounding the drive away from sugar and into the more high-intensity sweetener products, including stevia, are taxes. Countries around the world are taxing the heck out of sugar. You can see on the left, the table on the left, that in 1940, there was one country that taxed sugar for any reason whatsoever. In 2019, there are 53, and they're growing every day. And they're growing because of health reasons, mostly obesity, the cost of obesity, the cost of diabetes. And so this is a way to move consumers away from sugared beverages into high-intensity sweetener. So at Sweet Greenfields, what we've been doing is trying to develop complementary technologies to go alongside high-intensity sweeteners. Now, we produce stevia, but we don't just use SteviAroma, this new technology, with stevia. It can be used with other high-intensity sweeteners too, including sucralose, aspartame, ACE-K, or any other high-intensity sweetener. And it's used to improve mouthfeel. It's to fill that gap. So Jack Shih, the president of our company, has basically told us that our mission is to make sugar reduction products taste better than ever by building an open, synergistic, flourishing sugar reduction ecosystem. And by that, he really means that we have to continue to innovate around stevia. We have to revolutionize the platform for sugar-reduced products. And we have to make sure that we get all of our products as naturally sourced and that we generate intellectual property around them so that we can protect formulators when they use them. So sugar itself is a very versatile ingredient. It has a lot of functions that you might not immediately think about. Obviously, sweetness, but there's also color. There are caramels, candies, meats, vegetables, things like that. Aroma. Aroma is a big issue, and sugar provides quite a significant contribution to aroma. So you can imagine if you remove the sugar, you're removing these attributes, and putting a high intensity sweetener just on its own back into that system will bring you the sweetness, but you'll lose a lot of other things. Sugar also brings texture. Candies, cookies, cakes, jams. If you think about the textures and the mouthfeel that you get with sugar, then it's important to realize that for us as formulators and stevia producers, we need to be able to access new technologies that are going to bridge that gap between high intensity sweeteners and sugar and all of the other things that it provides. So when formulators generally look at trying to modulate taste, there's a challenge. The regular approach is really to look at three things: sweetness, acidity, and flavor. Now, I'm in this case really sort of talking mostly about beverages. But you can imagine the sweetness they solve with high-intensity sweetness. That can be anything, and that contributes sweetness to the product, and it enhances the sweet taste profile. But they're also going to need to modify that taste because they need to contribute flavor to it, or they need to mask off flavors. So it becomes quite complicated. There's also things like fiber. They want to put in more mouthfeel, which you don't get with high-intensity sweeteners, and you do get with sugar. And so the graph at the bottom shows you there that none of these are harmonized in any way. You've got problems where sweetness might linger because it's a high-intensity sweetener. The balance of acids is completely off because now sugar isn't helping to keep that harmony. And the sweetness itself, the flavor itself, may not last too long because sugar's not now carrying that flavor. So we've developed this new technology. It's based on stevia. It's still stevia based. What it does, it combines taste, aroma, and mouthfeel so that you don't need to put all of these other masking agents, mouthfeel modifiers, etc. in there. This is stevia based, and it will give you aroma, mouthfeel, and taste, and bring back that hole that you've got when you put a high-intensity sweetener into a beverage to replace sugar. So the value proposition for sugar-reduced products in this case is this is label-friendly. It's a flavor. You can optimize its use and the type to minimize cost in use. It has a sugar-like taste, mouthfeel, and aroma. And what that does for formulators like myself is it shortens the product development cycle. And everybody wants to shorten that cycle because of costs and to get into market as quickly as possible with exciting new products. So what SteviAroma does when it's added to high-intensity sweetener in, for example, a beverage, is it initially enhances the aroma. That makes the consumer like the product. They can smell it, they get a better sense of it, and you wouldn't get that with a sugar-eliminated or reduced product where you were just using a high-intensity sweetener. The second thing that you get is a balancing or synchronizing of things like sweetness, acidity, and flavor when you actually drink the product. And that's, again, something that you don't get if you don't have this kind of product in your formulation. And then finally, once you've drunk it, you through retronasal effects, get to think about it, and that gets you thinking hedonically. You actually want to go back and drink some more. Now, in many cases, if you drink a beverage that's just been sweetened, say, with one of the high-intensity sweeteners that's out there, it really doesn't make you necessarily want to go back and drink some more. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to stimulate consumers into getting a more sugar-like experience by using retronasally active mouthfeel agents like the SteviAroma. And you can see on the bottom right there, the temporal profile that you see if you just have a full sugar drink. We're trying to get back to that profile, and that is the aim. So SteviAroma in sugar reduction solutions is incredibly versatile. I'm just giving an example here of how you could use it, for example, with Sweet Green Fields stevia extracts. 20% sugar replacement on its own in something like a 9 or 10 brick solution is possible with SteviAroma on its own. You can't really, cannot be functionally sweet, but there is some element of sweetness enhancement that would go on here together with whatever else might be in your beverage. If you want to go to 50% sugar replacement, then you can combine it with one of Sweet Green Fields' proprietary stevia extract. And you can go all the way up from 50 to 80 to 100% sugar replacement just by combining SteviAroma with Intes. Now, I should say that you could also do this with sucralose or aspartame or ACE-K or a combination of those things. So it's not just stevia that this would work with. Here's an example of the effect of SteviAroma on a fairly sort of modern, popular beverage coming to market lately. And this is the lactobacillus drink. In this particular drink, you can see there's a full sugared version of it, and I'm showing you its appearance, the smell, the sweetness, the acidity, and the mouthfeel. They're rated. And then if we were to reduce the sugar by 70% and taste it again, you would see that we would tend to lose some of the mouthfeel considerably, certainly lose some of the sweetness. The acidity would rise. But if we put in 75 parts per million, in this case of SteviAroma 100 PN, and we have a number of varieties or variants of the SteviAroma technology, you can see by the green bar that we're getting much more like the original full sugar version, where we've lowered the acidity again back to the full sugar version, increased significantly the mouthfeel, and restored the sweetness. That's what you can do. It's very simple. It's very cost effective. Here's another one. This is fermented milk. So it can be like a drinkable yogurt type beverage. This one is sweetened by sucralose, and it's had a texturing agent, pectin and xanthan gum in it. So if you look at the sensory spider graph here, you can see that the no sugar added version of the fermented milk, you've got a lot of sweet lingering. It's not that sweet. It's certainly not got a very highly rated overall liking. Aroma is low. So it's not appealing to the customer. If you look at the full sugar version of this, the one in red, you can see you've got full body. It's really liked. Sweetness is up and aroma is up. So if we take the no added sugar version and we add 100 parts per million SteviAroma 100 CLC, and as I said, there are variants that you can try with this, we can recover or recoup to some extent the sweetness, the aroma, and certainly the mouthfeel. And then if we were to blend two SteviAroma variants together at 50 ppm each and add them to the no added sugar version of the fermented milk, we're getting more and more like the full sugar version. And that's really our aim here, to do that. And we're doing it in a clean label, cost-effective way.
In this example, we're sweetening coffee with 5% sugar as the control. And in the graph, you can see the various attributes that we get when we drink the coffee with 5% sugar in it. Now, we can replace the 5% sugar by a combination of a commodity stevia extract and SteviAroma 100 HY at 125 parts per million. This is a variant of one of the SteviAromas in our portfolio. When we do that, we can mimic exactly some of the attributes of the sugar, including the sweetness and the bitterness. What changes, however, is we're able to really reduce or mask the acidity and astringency in the beverage that you normally would have seen with the sugar. What that does, it harmonizes the sweetness and the acid and enhances the coffee aroma and gives you a full-bodied mouthfeel.
So SteviAroma 3D Synchronizer technology has a number of benefits. It has extensive added value. You can go beyond your regular flavor modifier products. So you can find a cost-effective way to bring back that sugar taste. It's all about great taste. So you can get innovation solutions to keep the overall taste profile of your sugar-reduced products consistent with the full sugar version. It's a clean label. These are flavors. And we have customizable formats so that you can use them for different applications, and we have many different types you can try. It's a simple and efficient way to develop sugar-reduced formulations. You can do this quickly. You can get measurable results almost immediately, if not immediately. And again, as I say, very cost-effective. So I'd like to thank you. This is Sweet Greenfield's SteviAroma technology. We're based in Washington, and you can call us at 1-360-483-4555, or you can email us at info@sweetgreenfields.com. Thank you.